I never make it a policy to name names, so I'm not going to do that. But to the two people who've messaged me about my videos saying, why don't I just stick to the horse thing? Me and Phantom say no. Say no. And Moses, what do you think? Do you think I should only ever play with you? They're really begging not to, because I'm terrible with horses. I think, yeah. Captain One Eye here says no. Misty says no.
And the little baby,
she says fuck you. In all seriousness now, if you want to attack what I'm saying or defend the rules that were put up, by all means do so. You might have a point that I've missed, and I might be able to consider it and go for it. But if you're attacking me rather than what I'm saying, you're crap, really. And that's every piece of feedback I've had that's been negative on this, which is not too many, to be fair, has been exactly that. It's been stick to these guys rather than attacking your hobby. And by the way, it's not just your hobby, it's a lot of people's hobby. But so that's been one big thing, is stick to your horses. I've had two of them. I've had, oh sorry Moses, I'm sorry mate. I've had quite a few comments on I'm wrong simply because of my gender, which you're clearly not paying attention to the article, the rules that you're defending, except in your head. And I know this is how it works. In your head, you think you are, because it's only sexist if it's against you. No, it's not. It's sexist if it's against anyone based on their gender, and the rules that PD put up clearly state that. I've had my skin colour attacked, only once, to be fair, but I thought that was a bit strange. But I don't understand what you're doing. Attack the idea, not the person making the idea. Now, I don't think PD intends anything bad with those rules they put up. I just don't think they're very good, or they're not very thought out. But if PD are serious about clamping down on these things, and they do mention they will clamp down to them about online harassment and things like that, then do so. Honestly, do so, but I don't think you will. In all honesty, I do not think you've got any intention of looking at the remarkable amount of people who have said things like the dude bros with their mailboxes in a twist. It's yes, all men are bastards. That sort of thing. I can't imagine for a moment you're going to contact those players who've done that and issue a warning or ban them. I just don't think you will. And I can understand why you won't, which I will go into in a moment when I'm back in my house all nice and warm and not getting followed by a horse. But yeah, I challenge you to do that. Or if you're unwilling to ban all those people, I challenge you to make a statement against them. And I know you won't, because the shit that'll fucking happen if you did that. I've been asked if I can speak on quite a few people's behalves on the condition of anonymity. In fact, everyone who's asked me to speak has had that. And I understand why. But I'll let them explain, actually. I do make it a policy when I'm doing these videos to never, ever say someone's name, or I don't even try to give a hint at who the person is that I'm referring to. I think that is very important to do, especially when it comes to stuff like this. But there's quite a range of people who have contacted me. One who is a games organiser has asked me to quote the following. I daren't say what I actually think on social media about this ridiculous document for fear of being trolled off the internet. And I think they're right about that. They did also go on to say, I can see the hobby on self-destruction, and I am powerless because I'm involved in it. How crazy is that? And the organiser's right. If they speak out about all this, it would be Larp suicide. And to be honest, I don't think these people are interested in a dialogue. I mean, they're banning words, you know. And if, like me, they were to say anything, you're going to get labelled a misogynist, a dude bro, an oppressor, a sexist. Despite the fact that I've not really brought gender into it at all. I couldn't give a shit about what gender you identify as or what gender you are. I just don't care. A LARP trader has asked me to say, I have become increasingly angry and dismayed with LARP, and PD in particular, over the last couple of years. They are being led and dictated to by a far left minority, and are making the other 95% of the LARP community feel excluded and bullied. They are letting a minority of vocal extremists bully everyone else, and it stinks. I want to yell and scream all over Facebook and explain just how wrong it is. But, and here's where my biggest frustration lies, I can't. I can't say one word publicly because I earn my living from LARP. I know just how much influence these bullies have now in this hobby, and I know how destructive social media can be to a business. I have had so many private conversations with LARPers, old and new, who are sick of all this, but daren't say anything publicly. Now I consider my politics to be pretty damn left of centre, and I do not discriminate against anyone. I treat everyone as I find them, but to be told I can't say what I like to my friends round the campfire at night after a few beers, fuck off. I want to call my mate a dick because he's being a dick, then I will. PD is promoting a culture of elitist bullies, and those that oppose it dare not speak out for fear of being ostracised. Myself very much included. I am happy for you to anonymously quote any part of this. I wish I could publicly support you, but I need to earn a living, and they would ruin me if I did. And again, I think you're absolutely right. This is something, it's just not talked about in the LARP world that much, and when it is, when anyone has ever dared to bring it up, they are trampled on. It's that nice quote from 1984, the boot on the face. That's what a lot of these people are like, and that was a game organizer and a trader, both fairly well known and very, very good at what they do, and they're understandably terrified of what I think is actually a minority of the LARP community, especially after I've started receiving quite a lot of messages about this, and it's really sad, to be honest, and I feel for them. But I got contacted by a player who's described themselves as a player of PD events. Please, please, please keep doing this. While I don't agree on everything you have said, a lot of this needs to be said. But the problem is, if I were to say it, I would either face a ban or just be pushed out of the community anyway. Do you know of a way to either A, be able to speak out without being crushed by the word Nazis for having an opinion on anything that might differ to theirs, or B, can you link me up with others like me? Maybe a Facebook group where we can all meet and discuss the issues without fear of being dragged out and ostracised. Do you have any plans on making such a group? I'd love to. I'd love to do that. At the moment, I'm going to say no. I don't have any plans on that, quite simply because it would be very, very easy for some of the people you're scared of to join that group, find out who everyone is, and publish their names or whatever. So if you want to make one, obviously I can't stop you. At the moment, I would advise against it until some... I'd advise against it until people can accept opinions of others better. Another LARPer has contacted me to say, "You are not alone. I know of at least 2 others who have faced similar threats. It's a sad state of affairs when they have no hope of being taken seriously." That's in regard, I think, to the threat of being falsely accused of sexual harassment, essentially. Yeah, I've known of at least one other person who that happened to. Yeah. Look, on the whole, there were a lot more quotes than this I could go into. I won't for now, but what I would like, if possible, but I understand if anyone would rather not. If you do feel this way, if you do feel you would like to raise your voice in the LARP community and have your say, but you are genuinely worried that you can't do that, if you want someone to say it, I will happily do it. You will always remain anonymous, and I would love to hear from you. Okay.